do you guys have?
We just bought a 12-passenger van.
Did you really?
So, yep.
Yeah.
We had a Suburban before.
We traded in the Suburban, and I lost the four-wheel drive capability, but
it
was worth it.
Yeah, and that was a 9-passenger?
It was.
Yeah, it was 9.
So then the whole family couldn't go together, and that used to really mess us up. We had to take 2 cars to the beach, 2 cars, anytime we to church, 2 cars, and you do what you have to do. But
right.
Yeah, that's
so
really
it's
great.
Nice to have the van. We can all fit, and there's extra space.
I know, 12-passenger will be.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yep.
So, you just kind of have to wait sometimes for things that, you wish you had. And I think I want to talk about budgets now. What do you think would be helpful for people thinking about the money aspect? How are we going to do this? It's so expensive to eat out every night. How are we going to afford that?
Right.
You mean to have more budget at the end of the month rather than more month at the end of your budget?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to have a big family, how do you make this work money-wise?
In one sentence, live within your means. There's a lot of things materially that a person could pursue. There's physical needs that we need to have, clothing, shelter, food, etc. But it's not that each child is an expense times 7 or times 8. There's a lot of synergy you start to get, because when we cook a big meal, we can pull more resources in. So we're cooking kind of like for a mini army.
Right.
And really the important piece is just to really take an honest look at your budget. Look at how much money you're bringing in. Try to, if you have debts, make sure you're taking care of those, but to live within your means.
Yeah. That's
and if you need to make sacrifices, we have made a lot of sacrifices in the past. And to this day, I hear friends, co-workers, or other friends at church saying, "Oh, we're going to go on this Caribbean cruise. We're going to go on this thing." And maybe our family vacations are a little bit more simple than that, but they're memories that we'll treasure forever, and our kids will treasure. The important thing is not where they're at, like at Disneyland or wherever. It's the fact that they're with mom and dad.
I think that's a new concept these days.
Yeah, and some of the things that we do to save on our budget, well, of course, shopping at the Warehouse Club in bulk helps a lot.
It does.
But when you cook from scratch, instead of buying things in a box or TV dinners or whatever, you can not only control the ingredients so it's healthier, but you can make it go a lot further. And I know some people, they put in a garden. We're thinking about putting in a garden this year. We'll see how it goes. But I have friends that put up all of their apples and peaches and stuff for the year.
They do.
So if you have more time than money, then spend the time.
You can do that. I think that's a great idea.
And things like, we pass down our boy clothes. So they actually very rarely go into storage, because they go right from Jay's to the next one. Yeah, well, it's about to be 5 in a row now, so it'll just get passed right down and when they wear out, you take them out, and they get new ones for Christmas or things on sale. So, but we actually got to the point where we almost had too many boys' clothes, and I gave extras away because people knew we had so many boys, and so they give us stuff.
Isn't that true? I think you brought up a really good point, that all of a sudden things come into your household that you never counted on, and they just clothes, food, freebies, all kinds of things come into your life to help, and I think that's really important. And I think it's so important to talk about what you said, how when you cook from scratch, you can make it healthier, because look at the obesity problem right now in children. And don't you think, I mean, I'm not a nutritionist, but don't you think this is dashboard dining? This is eating in the car at all the fast food, because everybody with their 2 children have them racing all over, taking all these expensive lessons, got to get there, soccer, whatever. They're on the go, they're working, they're exhausted, they're too tired to cook. And then kids are ballooning up and getting all kinds of diseases we never saw in children before. And I don't know, it just seems to make sense that what you say. And I think it's really important to talk about not only finances, but the health of the children.
Right. The healthier you are, the less you have to spend going to the doctor or buying medicine or
filling cavities.
Or, yes. So we would rather invest the money up front in good quality food and vitamins to prevent things. Because you certainly don't want the flu going through the house.
And we know what that's like
messy.
when it does. I think that's a really good point when you mentioned too, staying healthy. A lot of these children are are going into daycare, and then they're getting really ill, and we're gonna talk about that a little more too with the benefits of being home. I'm gonna say it again. The book is QuiverX. You can get this on your website, QuiverX.com, Amazon. Get a couple copies. I really think people need several copies. Take it to your high school. High schoolers, get it to the college library. Donate it to your public library, your high schools. Young people need to know this point of view. It's not talked about. There's no sitcom right now, and I don't think in 50 years of television there's been any support for big families and embracing. And you know, you talked about that too. You might not have a big family. You just say God chooses, and you don't know, right?
Right.
That's true.
Right.
What that's going to be.
That's true.
I think that's important to say. You may think you know what will happen, but you never know what will happen or what God has in mind for you. I guess the last thoughts I want to leave people with are thinking about old age is certainly something to be thought about, and how if you are a person of faith, think of your point of view and your voting and all of this magnified. Kind of talk about how you had that in the book. You had the two charts, the person that has 2 children, the people that have several, and what happens 50 years down the road.
Yeah, 50 years down the road, the family that's only having 2 children each generation might have 30 to 40 that they've left a legacy behind for. With the QuiverX mentality, in the chart, in the book, we just assume 5 children even, which is conservative because this is number 8 for us, per family. Just at 5 per family, that same generational time, you're talking over 700 legacy of your family that you've left behind that can impact the world to do the things that God has placed them here for.
Shannon, leave somebody with one last thought. If somebody's watching the show right now, and they're making this decision, maybe they're engaged, and they're watching right now, and they're thinking, well, of course I would limit my children. What do you want to say to that person?
I think if you try to limit the number of children you have, you're really limiting the blessing of the Lord. And He wants to bless you, and children are a reward. It says that in Psalm several times. And if somebody was going to give you $1 million, you wouldn't say, no, I can't handle it. Just give me 1,000. I can't take $1 million. You wouldn't. You would say, okay, I've got $1 million. What am I going to do with it? And it's the same way with children. You can't say, I'm just going to cut it off at 2 or 3. You have to say, okay, Lord, what do you want to give me? And then learn to deal with whatever He gives you, because He will enable you, and He will teach you and grow you and instruct you as you go.
I love it. It's beautifully said. Again, the book is QuiverX. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Jim
so
and
much.
Shannon.
Hi, my name's Carol Van Atta, and I'm from Bethany House. We're a home for single expectant women that have nowhere else to turn. Maybe you're pregnant right now and you've made a decision to keep your baby, but you just don't know where to go. Please give us a call. We've helped women for over 17 years learn the life skills necessary to have a healthy pregnancy and how to become a mother. Give us a call, 503-667-8409, to learn more about Bethany House's program of love and accountability.